I knew that my Coke problem was getting more of a problem when I couldn't drink without using. So for such a long time, I got away with just having a cheeky bag every now and again. And I was convinced I would never become one of those people that would need it. And I was okay with that. And the trouble is with that is the more then that you do it, the more you become addicted, you know? And so I kept going and going and going, thinking it's never going to happen to me. I'll be fine. I'll be able to stop it whenever, you know. And then one day you can't. One day you can't have a drink without buying a bag. And that's exactly the position I got to. I got to a place where every time I had a drink, even not even a full drink, like I'd only have to have the first few sips of alcohol and then I'd have to buy a bag. And then towards the end of my addiction, I was worse than that. I'd have to get the bag in before I'd even bought the drink. And I would never do the bag on its own. I would never do the bag without the drink. However, I had to have the bag there. Like it was in my mind. It was there. I had to do it. And it went hand in hand with the drink. Like for me, there was no way I would have done the Coke without the drink. But I also wouldn't have bothered either way. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't bothered about drink really. It was more about the Coke, but I wouldn't have done the Coke without the drink. It had to go together. So it got really out of hand. And it starts off obviously when you're just doing it on the weekends and stuff, and you can get away with it then, and you think because you're getting away with it you can do it more and more. And like I said, it's highly addictive, especially when you mix it with alcohol. It creates another chemical altogether, which is the cocaethylene, I think it's called, which is even more potent and dangerous to your body, but also more addictive. And then it's harder to stop. Like it's so much harder to stop because when you try and drink without using, it doesn't give you the high that you need. Like it's not giving you the same high. So drink just doesn't feel like enough anymore. And if you've got to that point, there is no point trying to carry on your drinking days because you're not going to be able to drink without using. And if you're like me, then the only way to stop that is to stop drinking. Even though drink wasn't necessarily as much of a problem as the Coke was, um, because it went hand in hand, it was just easier for me to eliminate the drink. And that's what you need to do if you're like me and you've got a problem like that, because it's not going to go away. You can't reset your relationship with alcohol, unfortunately. And believe me, I've tried. Even now, even after a year, if I went back to drinking, even though I might get away with just drinking for the first couple of weeks or whatever, eventually I would go back to picking up a bag because it's there and it'll always be there. So accepting that you've got a problem, accepting that you can't drink without it anymore is a big, massive thing. Like it's a huge step. If you're able to say to yourself, actually, am I picking up every time I'm drinking? If you are, it's game over. It's time to call it quits.